5 people are dead, more than a dozen others injured following a shooting at a nightclub in Colorado Springs. The shooting happened just before midnight at Club Q. It's a known gay bar on the east side of the city on Academy Boulevard near North Carefree. Colorado Springs police say the suspect, 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich, is in custody. Police have not yet released a picture of him, though, as he is still in the hospital.
This shooting is an absolute tragedy, and finger pointing will not make a change. So a 22-year-old gunman entered an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs last night and began shooting. Apparently, he has killed 5 people and wounded dozens of others. And if it wasn't for the brave act of at least two of the patrons, more lives could have been lost. I read that 2 of the patrons in the club confronted the gunman and took him down and prevented more killing. This act in itself is disgusting, and it's horrific, and it's tragic, and it should never happen. But finger pointing will not solve the problem. Joe Biden's ban on firearms will not solve the problem. This is all caused, in my opinion, by mentally ill people who have access to firearms. No matter how they get them, they still have them. This, of course, is still being investigated. It's still too early to tell. But again, the finger pointing already is a disgrace. And it's a disgrace because the Democrats, of course, are going to blame extreme Republicans for this horrific act. Watch this clip and I'll explain a little more.
And Nancy Pelosi didn't waste any time making a statement blaming MAGA Republicans for the attacks on the LGBT community and the shooting in that gay nightclub. She could not wait to spread her hate, saying, "The fight remains more urgent than ever as right-wing extremists target transgender Americans' most fundamental rights and freedoms, whether spouting dangerous rhetoric from cable news desks or openly bullying school children from the halls of power. MAGA Republicans are cruelly undermining the safety and well-being of our transgender community." She's horrified by the shameless bigotry, and the House Democrats are proud to march alongside their transgender friends.
So they could not wait to make a statement blaming extreme right-wing conservatives for this horrific act of violence when they know the investigation is so fresh that there is no clue why this person did this, whether it was an upset boyfriend of someone, whether it was a hate crime, whether it was, again, just a sick, mentally ill person with a firearm who has nothing better to do. We don't know the answers, but to automatically point the finger and say it was extreme right-wing MAGA Republicans is nothing more than a disgrace. And of course, it had to come from the mouth of Nancy Pelosi, because as of today, and me talking about this, we still don't know the full details of the hammer attack on her husband. We've heard numerous different stories from the local DA, from the federal government, but we don't know the truth. We can assume we might know, but we don't. She has not said anything about it, but she was quick to jump in and make a ridiculous statement like that today. This is our Democratic Party. They were our so-called leaders, and thank God that she is all done. She will no longer be in control of anything in the House of Representatives, because this is the hatred that she is all about. It's the hatred that most of those liberal Democrats are about. They are so quick to blame another political party for an act of violence when they have no idea what the reasoning is. This person is supposedly in custody in the hospital. They haven't even released any details other than his name. I'm not going to use his name because as far as I'm concerned, he's nothing more than a coward to go into an establishment with a firearm. And I don't care what kind of establishment it was. It was a cowardly, horrific act that should have never happened. And the Democratic politicians who say they care so much about our country are so quick to blame another political party for it. And that's a disgrace. They just can't wait to see the outcome of an investigation and then make a statement, but automatically assume that it was Republicans, it was extremists that committed this cowardly act. Nancy Pelosi has always been a disgrace. I've said it over and over again, and she just proved that she is all about spewing nonsense, spewing trash. And if it comes out that this person may be a Republican, what does that matter? Fighting about it through political parties is not going to bring people's loved ones back. All they can try to do is stop this violence. And again, taking firearms away from law-abiding citizens is not the answer. This federal government needs to worry about spending more money on mental health issues around this country instead of funneling billions of dollars to fight a war in a foreign country. But they don't care. All they are about is pointing fingers and blaming. And that's what they'll always be about. So how about we just wait and see what the outcome is? And again, my heart goes out to anyone that was injured in that horrific shooting. It should have never happened. And the person responsible for it should be held accountable and hopefully go to prison for the rest of his life for committing such a cowardly act. And that's all I want to say about this. It remains to be seen, but you know the rhetoric that's going to be coming out on MSNBC, on CNN. They're going to be pointing the fingers. They're going to say it was like January 6th. It was a MAGA extremist. It's all bullshit. They can't help themselves. They have to continue to spew their hate about another political party because they don't know what else to do. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you real soon with something else. Have a great night.